In this session of Frame Fixer's eyeglass repair videos, we are going to be taking a look at one of the all-time icons of the eyeglass world, which is the Bausch & Lomb Rayban Wayfarers. In this session, we're going to be talking about the ones that were made after the D-plate riveted ones and before the modern spring hinge one, which really covers the majority of years that these were manufactured and the majority of units that are out there today. And that is the conventional straight simple hinge Rayban Wayfarer that has a double eyelet on the temple arm and a single eyelet on the receiver side of the frame. What generally tends to happen when these are subjected to more force than the unit can withstand is the single rivet, or the single eyelet that you see here, tends to simply snap off at its base, right here. Try to get that in just a little bit closer on a white background. Single eyelet from the side, still very robust, much heavier than the majority of hinges of this type that are out there. And then of course the receiver side of it, right here, a twin, having a larger than normal optical gauge screw, and then this unit of course joining this one. So when a Rayban Wayfarer comes in like this, the first thing that we do is to ascertain is if in fact the hinge is broken. Many times people will send a piece in with the arm off of it for certain, but this section right here, this heavy, well-made end of the temple arm with its metal base thermoset into the arm, will still be retained by the hinge screw, and it still remains with the frame. In that case, it's not really a hinge repair, it's a temple arm repair, and that's easily done as well. Back to the hinge repair. So in repairing a broken hinge, once we've determined which side or both sides of the hinge have in fact broken off, what we do is we use a electronically heated hemostat to remove the thermoset hinge from the temple arm, if that's the one that's broken, or one of the two that's broken, and sink a replacement unit back into that location. Same thing is done on the frame side. We remove the broken eyelet and its base, and then we place a replacement eyelet, like this one, into that location in order to receive the temple arm. And that is how you bring a broken hinge Rayban Wayfarer back from the dead, if it were, and back into use, into serviceable use, and enjoy it for as long as you wish to wear this wonderful style. That's Rayban Wayfarer hinges. Have a wonderful day. This is a model that has emerged over a period of decades, beginning just before the Second World War, and has been worn by such luminaries as John Kennedy, and currently worn by Jack Nicholson almost exclusively. The problem we're going to be discussing is the breaking of the hinge. Before we get to that, we should touch on a few of the strong points in this eyeglass that have led it to be so widely manufactured and copied. To begin with, the frame has, let's clear the deck here, a very robust frame front, which provides a good secure anchor point for the lenses. It also ensures that the lens plane remains aligned and resists torsion twisting, and keeps either non-prescription or prescription lenses in place and in the same plane as each other. The corners are also robust, and that is one spot that on other models is frequently seen as broken. The nose pad flanks, molded right into the frame itself, are very generous and can be heat molded to suit specialty needs of persons with broader or more narrow noses. These actually can be removed, and we do that here at Frame Fixers quite frequently, and then traditional harp type metal nosepad rods can be inserted and then provide even more travel for the nosepad surfaces towards or away from the nose plane, away from or closer to the eye relative to the back of the lens. Now, the fact that this is also a very robust temple arm lends itself to providing a great deal of leverage when this piece is sat on, stepped on, or subjected to all of the various things that happen to eyeglasses. And for that reason, one of the most common repairs, not that it's a weak point, but it's simply a model that is manufactured in large quantities, and the frame is so robust that the weakest link in the chain, if you will, turns out to be the hinge. The hinge on the early models was riveted and used D-plates, which were riveted through the back side of this ormolu on the front, captured on the back with a 3 or 4 leave hinge half, and then the arm itself also had, in the early models, rivet heads that came through, or the Rayban logo, which was later superimposed on the arm to retain the other end of the rivets that held the metal plate to which the eyelet was affixed. In the beginning, the word Rayban didn't actually appear on these. It was unusual, unlike today where clothing and handbags and watches all have pronounced demonstration of the manufacturer's name on them. In the beginning, the only thing that indicated that these were Raybans was a very faint letter R and B floating in the upper left-hand side of the right lens. And this actually caused some confusion when Persol came out with their own model. They had a very, very distinct triple metal flex joint at this point, and also an arrowhead, which made Persol's very, very easy to identify. Rayban turned that into an opportunity and put their famous Rayban script on the side of the later models.